No,
Oh, I haven't
no
taken
one.
Grace the only one.
All right, guys, welcome to virology class
I'm now the co-host.
number 3.
Who made you the co-host?
All right,
Why
so
we co-host so bad, Miles?
I know. One day. So is Miss Jen gonna join?
No idea.
Oh, I was
She probably
really
will
hoping she'd
eventually.
join.
She probably will later on, but
Okay. Somebody go wake her up because she's got to be
I
in
do have
class.
some questions to ask her.
oh yeah.
I gotta message her because she's our expert on the subject for this class. So fun story. I wrote like 30 slides and we were gonna go through a totally new story. And then I laid my head down on the pillow last night at 9 o'clock and I went, I can't do any of this. I think I'm gonna hand it to you guys this class because do you know how they say that the best way to learn something is to teach it? Have you ever heard of that?
I've heard if you do it.
So
Why are you entrusting me with this responsibility?
well, so
Please give it to,
we're
you can
gonna
give it
do
to me, Emma.
that's right. We're gonna do something a little different today. I am gonna teach a little bit at the beginning.
Okay.
And then we're going to go into breakout groups and we're going to do a project together.
Yay.
And as soon as Miss Jen joins, she's going to be y'all's lifelines to call on.
I do have some questions to ask.
That's right. Sort of like a game show. You can use Miss Jen to figure out some problems.
Miss Jen is what is physics?
Does that
I
sound
don't
good?
know if she's gonna be here though, because I think she's getting ready to leave later.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
We have no life.
I know stuff. I have a wonderful human body book
I
about
have
the immune
Google.
system.
Yes, you can definitely use the internet. So you'll have like 30 minutes or so on a project together.
30 what?
30. What?
Yeah.
What's the project?
What?
Okay,
Well-
so the project's gonna be I'm gonna give you a scenario. Remember how I did a story last time about how we got the flu?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this time I'm gonna
Please
give
don't
you
say
a
anything
new
different.
scenario, a new enemy to battle.
Please
And
don't be
I
anything
want
gruesome.
you guys to, you can draw, write, do a presentation, whatever you want to do on the sequence of your immune system. So
we get to create our own scenarios, right?
you get to create your own scenario,
Oh, thank God.
but you have the same enemy. Okay, so we're going to go over some basics, like kind of review of your immune system. And then you guys are going to tell the rest of the story and what's going to happen. So your person could die if you wanted to, really. I mean,
Wow.
the immune system does fail sometimes. It does kill you off.
What if my kid has HIV?
Well, we're all going to have the one enemy. So I get to pick that.
Oh man.
Okay. But the stories could go different.
I've already started creating a slide.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. All
Can
right.
someone explain to me what is going on? I had to call my mom.
We're just gonna make projects. I'll tell you. I'll tell you in the whenever.
Yeah, I'll redo it.
Thank you.
Let's see. Where's my?
It's annoying.
Let's see. I want to. Let's see if I can share that. Download. Sometimes Zoom makes me re-download things. Hold on. There we go. We're going to use a different computer today. We're using my iPad so I can draw on it.
Yay.
I gotta sneeze.
Bless you.
It was the pathogens.
Why didn't you sneeze right into the microphone?
I should have. Okay. Is everyone ready to meet their enemy for today?
No.
Sure.
I'm ready to fight Bowser and kill him.
Why Bowser?
because
Yeah. Hey, you can call the enemy a Bowser.
Bowser virus.
Ooh, we can
19.
can we give the enemy like a nickname?
Can we?
Yeah.
Oh,
You can create your own story. You
Oh,
can make a
again.
comic if you wanted to.
The creative
going
juices are flowing today, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, you're gonna create your own story, a comic, a play, whatever y'all want to do to
comic.
demonstrate the basics of your immune defenses. And the story could take a terrible turn for the worst, or it could like win and you could get completely better. Okay.
yay,
All right, so
freedom.
We
to
could die.
to understand your defenses, it's critical to understand what is attacking you. Does everyone agree?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like the art of war, right?
Right.
All right, so let's meet our enemies and the sort of basics of this. I'm gonna move this away here. First of all, let's talk about size of the enemies. Okay, so in general, how many millimeters are in a meter? And Emma, I think I'm hearing a feedback. If you could close your door. I don't know if your door
I did close my door.
okay. How many millimeters are in a meter?
A lot.
100,000.
1,000. Right. Let's see if I can put 1,000. This is going to be a very easy quiz, guys. How many microns are in a millimeter?
1,000.
1,000.
Oh, we're seeing a pattern, aren't we? How many nanometers are in 1 micron?
1,000.
Ah, you're too smart. All right, so here are this kind of the scales that we're dealing with. Now, if you see on your screen here, we're going to talk about, all right, let's look at the E. coli. Does everyone see the E. coli?
Yep.
Sort of.
All right, so let's see if I can, I don't know if I can blow this up for you guys or not. Haha,
You blew it down. Oh,
there we go. Is that better?
yeah.
Okay,
Why is,
so
why is the rhinovirus so small?
yeah,
Oh,
you're noticing all this, right?
I like the IgG antibody.
All right, so to give your immune system a run for its money, right? These things we're going to be talking about today are pathogens, which the word pathogen literally means the maker of suffering. Okay, so here's our maker of suffering. And you notice
my
some different. So
God.
somebody mentioned bacteria. This has what are we seeing the main differences here? I mean, even between a red blood cell and like Ebola, what are some differences?
Viruses are tiny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we're noticing the viruses are super tiny. Yeah, bacteria is a little bigger, right? What about our immune system? So some of the main cool things that you guys will need to be talking about today is we have this thing here. What's that called?
Neutrophil.
Neutrophil.
All right. And then we've talked about this. What's that word mean?
Macrophage.
Macrophage.
What does that word mean?
It's a big eater.
The phage means eater. That's right. Macrophage, right? And then we have our lovely
Red blood cells.
red blood cell. So we've already got the upper hand on these things, right? I mean, we're in size at least, right? So we've got our macrophage, which is our big eater of bacteria, viruses, dead virus parts and everything, right? And this is eating everything. Look how gigantic it is, right?
Miss Tara,
Mhm.
Yeah.
so if the red blood cell was the size of a donut and you took a bite out of it, what would it taste like?
You would have to ask a vampire.
Maybe like liver.
Ah,
Liver has a lot of blood in it.
Ah.
That'd be my guess.
Ew.
And then you see how tiny the coronavirus is, right?
Yep.
Yep. Now, of course, these things are not just floating around by themselves, just entering your body, right? So technically they're small, but they're in something that's carrying them that's a lot bigger, right? All right, so this is what we're going to be talking about today. You see that E. coli there. That's pretty cool, right? And then the staph infection, is Miss Jen not on yet?
yes,
She
it's
is.
on.
Oh, good. How do you say that, Miss Jen? Staphylococcus?
Exactly.
Aha!
Staphylococcus aureus.
Yes.
Staphylococcus
And that
aureus.
looks way different than
That looks like
the other stuff.
3 little balls.
But you notice this little U right here. What does the little backwards U mean?
That would be a micron.
Yeah. So that's micrometer. And another word for micrometer we say is micron. We kind of like shorten it up, squish those two words together, sort of like we learned in English class, right? We start eliminating sounds and just push them all together. Anything else you guys notice from this as far as size goes? Now, you see how small like a bacteria or E. coli would be, right? Well, would you be surprised if I said that they have at least 10 times more mass combined than all animals on Earth?
What?
There's a lot of bacteria, okay?
There is.
So in 1 gram, which is like a paperclip size, right, of soil, there are 50 million bacteria. Crazy, right? And then I want everyone to just touch your teeth. Because the plaque on your teeth, like the yellow stuff, like when you don't brush, right? Who doesn't brush their teeth?
Me. Not really.
Well, there are
You
more
didn't have to call me out
bacteria.
like that.
There are more bacteria living on your teeth than there are humans living on Earth. Just on your teeth.
Where's my toothbrush?
That's right. We definitely need to brush our teeth, guys.
I just did this morning.
Yep.
And then I ate a bagel. So I don't know if that counts.
Oh, let's see if I can. Come on. There we go. All right. So if there are so many viruses and so many bacteria, why are we not killed by all these viruses?
Immune system.
Yeah. Our lovely immune system. We have actually 2 parts to our immune system. Does anyone know what those are?
The humoral
Humoral
system and the like non I forgot. It started with an E.
Does this look familiar?
E. coli.
So this is the immune system we're kind of born with. Which is why it's called innate. All right. So when you guys are going to be doing your project today, this list on the side are some of the key players that you're going to want to use in your first line of defenses of your immune system. Okay. The neutrophil, the macrophage. We haven't really touched on complement yet, but definitely the dendritic cell. Okay. And we'll go over those briefly again before we do our stuff. And then the second part kicks in. And what's this one?
Adaptive.
Adaptive.
And this is the big guns, right? This is bringing out the heavy weapons. These are the big soldiers that just kill everything, right? These are your T cells. So you got your killer T's and your helper T's. Sometimes you got, that's your plasma cells and stuff. These are pretty cool. So this is the second part. These are the ones that remember what the particular virus or bacteria would look like. So next time you're invaded, they could immediately kill it, and you might not even know you have anything, right?
Let her talk. She's trying to class.
All right. So our first line of defense before we start our story is the skin. Okay. So technically, when you're looking at yourself in the mirror or on this Zoom call here, what we're really seeing is a very thin film of death covering our alive parts. It's a very cheerful way to think about it.
So our skin is dead.
Yeah.
What?
All right.
Our
So
skin is dead.
well, every single second you shed around 40,000 dead skin cells. So you can just imagine your the dust particles in your house, right? It's probably mostly dead skin cells, right?
That
very
sounds
joyous.
reassuring.
A joyous thing to think about. Here, let me
Really brings the color out into the world.
increase it here. So here are layers. So if you sort of notice, we got these basal cells down here, right? Those are the living,
Basil,
the ones that are living.
like
And
the plant.
slowly they kind of diminish. You notice that? And then at the very top, there's going to be a lovely layer of dead cells. Now, this is a very good thing. Why is this a very good thing?
Pathogens can't live on dead cells.
Yeah, they don't care anything about dead cells, right? That is not what they're interested in. I keep coming on it. There we go. That's not what they're interested in, right? They're interested in taking over our living cells. All right. So this is where the story will begin. All right.
No.
So you guys are going to be taking a lovely walk through the woods, a nice little hike. Maybe we're all camping together. You can kind of make a cool story up, right? Well,
How long do
unfortunately,
we have to make the story?
say that again.
How long do we have to make this story?
20, 30 minutes. We'll say half.
I don't think I can do it.
That's enough time.
You'll have plenty of help. It's 2 teams. Okay, so
Boys versus girls.
yeah, we can do boy versus girls. That's fine.
Last time we did that, we lost.
Oh, wait.
All right, so here's the story. You're walking in the woods and someone did not wear shoes. Okay, and we have stepped on a rusty nail, which is now broken through the skin and is lodged in your foot.
Tetanus.
That's bad.
And you're out in the middle of nowhere. Okay. So you're going to write a just lovely story about what's going to happen inside of your body. So you hopefully do not get very, very sick and die. Right? I mean, I guess you could write the story that way, but okay, so we're going to use things like the macrophages, the neutrophils, the dendritic cells. You can use cytokines, stuff like that. You're absolutely able to use the internet. If you forgot what some of this stuff was, you get lifelines of Miss Jen that you can call on. I need to make her a co-host. And at any time through this, you just say, "Excuse me, I need help, Miss Jen." You can also use me, but I would recommend Miss Jen and not me. And you can go through different scenarios. Miss Jen is a registered nurse, so or nurse practitioner. Sorry, Miss Jen. And so she has gone through all this stuff in real life. I'm sure way worse than a nail in the foot. So she can help you guys out a lot with your story and what's going to happen if you have to go to the hospital and going on in your immune system. Any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Does it have to be a bacteria or can it be a virus also?
A bacteria. We're doing bacteria today.
All right.
Miss
This
Tara,
is virology.
I know. I decided to switch it up because I want to go over the immune system again before we get to vaccinations and your memory cells, because that's going to come in handy for that.
Miss
All right.
Tara,
Yes.
let's have boys versus girls. Let's do boys collaborate with girls.
Well, we'll come together. One, two, well, we have an even, well, we don't have an even amount. It's like 4 and 3, but that's okay. Let's see if I can do breakout rooms. All right, questions before we switch it up.
And we'll work with Emma.
Okay.
Me too.
All right, let's see. Will move to 2. Lola 2. It's so funny. It kept the breakout rooms from yesterday's class. Okay. So there you go. And Miss Jen is co-host, so I think she can move to any room is what I remember. I'm going to open all rooms and you guys can draw whatever you would like and write down. So you're going to tell a story when you come back. Let's see. Welcome back, everybody.
Okay.
Y'all do.
Oh,
Good.
we did well, I think.
Yeah.
Hey. No, don't screen share yet.
Well, if the boys want to go first. Oh, did we lose Lola?
Yeah, I think we lost one. Hey, Lola, are you still on?
Oh, here she is.
I got kicked out.
It does that every time we leave a breakout room. Somebody gets
Yeah.
somebody
I was the person that got the pictures, and that's the weird thing.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's every time it's the one that has the picture.
All right,
right,
do
boys.
the girls want to go first?
Oh, that's very
I
gentlemanly.
want to see
No,
the
please, you go
boys.
first.
The boys first. I want
No,
to
you go
see
first. You
the-
went first last time.
No,
Alright,
I want to
No,
see
no,
yours.
no, no. You always have
We
to go.
actually went first last time.
You go
Actually, no, you
first.
went first last time. Levi, go first.
Fine. So I will now share some of my photos. Let's see.
I'll share it, Emma. Okay.
No, it's too late. No.
No, I mean, whenever we do ours.
Here we go.
Oh.
Alright, so the main character of our story is Levi.
Okay.
So Levi was riding his bike when his front tire popped on a branch. He couldn't ride anymore, so he walked it back. There was an old rugged house that he decided to explore. So he walked into an old room, and all of a sudden he felt a searing pain in his foot. He looked down and saw there was a rusted nail in it. Here you see
Oh,
our bike, our
And,
rusty old house, and our nail.
The nail was put into his foot.
Yes, the nail went. No. That's next slide. This next slide. All right, and we just took multiple pictures.
okay.
Yeah, same.
And so here we have this bloody foot. So the nail went deep into his foot, releasing millions of bacteria into the surrounding cells. Alerted by the bacteria, cells start sending chemical signals that alert the immune system.
Mm-hmm.
There's our nail, there's our bacteria. And there's our cells releasing their chemical signals.
All right. Are those what the cytokines signals?
Yeah, there's some cytokines.
Okay.
But there's because there's so many of them that they have many different jobs.
That's great.
Macrophages are the first to arrive, and they eat the bacteria. Like they'll grab onto them with their little long arm things, and they'll digest them basically.
Okay.
When macrophages get cool, they call help from to the neutrophils, and neutrophils release deadly chemicals that will latch onto bacteria and rip holes into them, and they can also explode and kill bacteria.
Yeah.
And that little thing in the bottom left-hand corner is a French fry emoji.
Why is there a French fry emoji? All right, you know,
Aren't different people in your group supposed to present?
what?
You're supposed to have different people present.
It's okay. It's just those two. So I think one was the illustrator and one was the narrator. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I did the emoji.
Okay.
We got some great pictures here.
Yes.
All right, and then we have next slide. There we go. And while all these neutrophils and macrophages are over there battling, these dendritic cells will take samples of bacteria and give them to helper T cells.
Yeah.
Well, it's a specific helper T cell.
It's not
and-
helper. Okay.
What?
Yeah, it is.
Yep. That's correct. Keep going. You got it.
Got it.
So helper T cells will go find, and once helper T cells get that, they'll either find a B cell or some of them will go directly at battle and boost the macrophages, and
Yep.
some will go find either a B cell or a killer T cell. Killer T cells aren't needed in this situation because those are for viruses.
Perfect.
I think killer T cells can be in both bacteria and viruses.
Because killer T cells kill infected cells.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, we didn't write down the killer T cells. We didn't have time.
That'll be the next section.
Yes. And then once it finds the B cell, it will spray antibodies on the bacteria, which slows the bacteria down, makes it easier for macrophages to get. And then that is our cliffhanger. We do not know if the person dies or not. We ran out of time.
What do you think is going to happen? Is this a success story or?
I wanted to be
Well,
one.
this is a success story because,
Okay.
as my wonderful mother pointed out, there is probably no bacteria on a rusty nail that's going to kill you.
Gotcha.
Well, I didn't say that there were none. I said nothing's going to kill you that fast. You guys said he's going to step on a nail and be dead before he gets home. Like, that's not going to happen.
Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
Great immune story. All right, girls,
Immune story.
what's your immune story?
Oh, let me get all the pictures that Lola sent me.
I could technically just do them on photos instead of the entire screen.
Hey, Emma,
Yeah.
I like the fan in your room.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah, I got him.
Okay.
Okay, so it all starts with our lovely trio of
Of Girl
quadruple O
Scouts.
walking in the woods.
Aw.
Why do you color so much better than us?
Who's telling the story?
And the girl in the red hair is Alexis, and she
Desiree.
wasn't wearing
What?
shoes, so she stepped on a nail.
Okay.
I always do.
That
And
bloody image.
all
Yeah.
of the germs and bacteria from the nail get into the foot, and they start attacking the cells. So all of the helper cells arrive, and they call for the dendritic cell to get the samples for the bacteria. And they'll get the B cell as well, so they can make the antibodies for to match it with the virus, so it can kill them off. So the dendritic cell takes the sample of the virus, and it sends the messenger proteins to the B cell, and they'll copy and make the antibodies for the bacteria to kill them. And all of it is happening. All of the neutrophils are exploding and sending out their toxins. Everyone's doing their job. It's a whole battlefield out there. And all the cells clean up the battlefield.
Macrophages.
And
Those
they
are
win.
macrophages.
Macrophage, yes. They win, and everyone is great. No.
Is that it, or do you have another one? Okay.
No, I don't. Shit.
That's
Wait. Little did they know there
Oh.
were nails everywhere.
I like that story.
I was gonna say from the girls, you made a point to say she was barefoot.
Yeah.
So if you step on the nail, does it matter if you're wearing shoes?
Oh,
what?
I think we've lost you, Jen, on the sound.
She said like
Sort of. You sound like a robot.
I can relay her information.
Okay, Levi, you relay the information.
All right, so she said like they were all walking barefoot or something, right? So, all right, she's coming here.
To earn the
That's not what
barefoot
she said.
badge. They were all walking barefoot to earn the barefoot badge.
I said, on the girls, they made a point to say their little girl was stepped on a nail barefoot.
Right.
Does it make a difference if you're barefoot or if you're wearing shoes when the nail goes into your foot? Because most nails are kind of long enough, they're going to go through the sole of your shoe into your foot, right?
Mhm.
Like if you step straight down on it. But does that make a
I've
difference?
had that
you think?
experience once.
I can't hear them.
This might make a tiny difference.
What difference might it make?
Tiny one.
Less of the nail might get in your foot.
What'd you say?
The less chance.
Less of the nail.
Oh, no. So let's say that the nail actually goes into your foot. Turn the volume off. I can't hear you.
Yeah, it would be small either. Some of it would be stones or the rest of it would be usual.
So when the nail goes into your foot, what also might go into your foot with it?
Bacteria.
Yes. Yes.
And
If it goes
plastic.
through your shoe, yeah, it can actually take little pieces of debris like into it as well, right? Not
Mhm.
just bacteria, but like whatever's going in there, like the material, right?
Metals.
And the bacteria that live on your shoes is very different from the bacteria that lives on our ground. And the shoe is actually way more dangerous. So most things that are kind of on the ground outside are not as dangerous to humans as things we create, is kind of what it turns into. So if you're wearing like these rubber-soled shoes, things like that, and a nail goes through it, you get a different type of bacteria. And that type of bacteria is much more dangerous as far as it can grow faster and cause worse infections. So it's especially important if you are wearing shoes, you definitely need to go get antibiotics almost, very quickly when you step on it.
So we don't wear shoes?
Oh no, you wear shoes everywhere. I grew up not wearing shoes anywhere, but
All right.
it's different. It's whatever you want to do. Just know that you need to.
Well, if you
You
wear
need to go
shoes,
see
you'll get a
somebody.
different type of bacteria. If you don't wear shoes,
Right.
then you get ticks.
No,
Yes.
ticks don't go in shoes. Okay, bless your heart. So, but Pseudomonas is going to come through shoes, which is your more dangerous bacteria from puncture wounds. And so that's one of the questions you'll always be asked if you go see somebody and you've stepped on something, like, did it go through your shoe? Were you barefoot or were you wearing a shoe?
Ah.
And you guys love to draw a lot of blood, but puncture wounds to the bottom of your foot bleed very, very little. It's another one of the dangers of the infection is you don't actually have a big blood supply to the bottom of your foot. So it takes a little longer to heal. And it also means there's not as many of all those vessels and blood cells, moving around.
It's a
to
thicker
help it.
layer of dead cells on the bottom of your foot.
Yeah.
Because you have thick skin.
I have a question, guys. How, we drew some blood, but how does the blood stop coming out?
Platelets.
You gotta put a Band-Aid on it.
You gotta put, man.
don't-
No, platelets. Platelets.
I think there's cells that
I'm
go.
one here too.
Turn it down.
Sometimes the bleeding still stops even if you don't put a Band-Aid on it.
Yeah.
I know.
It's because it's clotted.
Yeah, so we have the blood rushing to us, to the wound, right? And carrying all
Yeah, to start clotting.
these lovely cells to the battlefield, right? And in the meantime, we have platelets that are actually gonna help close the wound so no more bacteria gets in, right? So then we can ask Miss Jen, why do we have to put pressure on it?
So the blood doesn't escape too much. Or no, that's putting it in a high elevation.
It puts it in a higher, I think it puts it in a higher heat or something.
Where'd Miss Jen go? Can she hear us?
I'm not sure how well it works.
Oh, I don't hear her. Was that you, Miss Jen?
Yes.
Okay, there you are. We were asking why we have to put pressure on our wound.
To make it bleed more.
No.
Maybe
that's
it's
not
to
it.
keep the fluid in there.
Come on. You say it. You've been here for so last year.
You go ahead.
Desiree knows it.
I can't think of it off the top of my head. If you know, I can
I think is Miss Jen explaining it?
No, I
Uh,
don't think my mic is working.
Oh, there it is. We hear you now. It goes in and out. And she's out. All right. All right. So it has to do with platelets, right? And those are going to close the wound. Let's see. So the injured toe becomes hot as the blood brings the extra body heat. What's the deal with the temperature? Do we remember that with the viruses?
They don't like the heat.
Yeah, and our helper cells do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So most microorganisms do not like things that are hot, right? So here's our cut. Here's our bacteria and our blood vessels and all of our little. All right, so you guys were all correct. The first guards to show up are the macrophage, right? And they're swallowing bacteria. They can swallow like 100 bacteria, each one of these things, right? But they're only about 21-ish microns, okay, or micrometers. But there's
Miss Carol.
lots of them. Yes.
Sorry, but I just realized that we're gonna have 3 classes in a row every day from yesterday to tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, we had one yesterday. We have 2 today, huh? So you'll start to see swelling in your toe, right? The macrophages are awesome because they're huge, right? You remember the size of the macrophage compared to the actual bacteria? So they're actually going to engulf them. So here's a good example of what one would look like. And I think Levi showed the little tentacles coming off one of them, but it's actually going to kind of swallow it, engulf it. And there's like little pockets of acid inside that will dissolve the pathogen and then kind of spit it out in parts. And who kind of gets some of the parts? What cell was that? It's
The
collecting.
dendritic cell.
Yeah, they're going to collect that information, aren't they? And then you guys mentioned the neutrophils, right? So the cool thing about these is they explode, right? So basically they're fighting and they're gonna die. They're like a serious warrior. They're so serious that the body only lets them live, I think, like 5 days at most, because they just kill everything. They kill your actual body cells at some point, right? So they actually come with what we call a kill switch, right? When they have to kill themselves. Now, every single
Why we
day,
call them suicide bombers.
that's right, 100 billion die. All right. But the good news is 100 billion also are made. Okay. But they're there to fight for you for sure. I believe this is why your snot is green. Is Jen here? I don't know if she she could talk, but I'm pretty sure the green is the death of these neutrophils of what you're seeing. And you're sort of like, if your snot is a certain color, you're kind of seeing the what battle is going on inside your body, right?
Lola just got kicked out.
And then you guys all mentioned the dendritic cells, all right? So they connect with the macrophage and they say, the macrophage says, hey, come over here. We've killed some things. We spit them out. I need you to collect this information, right? So where do they send this information? So they're the intelligent
To
officers,
the T
right?
cells.
Yeah, so these cells have long tentacles that they catch the invaders. They can actually rip the invaders to pieces, right? But they're not going to eat them. They're going to collect samples of them, right? And they're going to give it to the innate immune system, right?
Well, I think they cover them. They cover themselves with it. So
That's
it's like taking the guts of your enemies and throwing them on your clothes.
That's right. Yeah. So bring back information. Yeah. Now, what we didn't talk about is a mast cell. Okay. Does anybody know what this is?
No.
Let's see if I have a picture of it. I don't think I do. All right, so they're large bloated cells filled with tiny bombs, okay? They're basically chemical bombs, right? And they just bomb the battlefield.
Wait, so you're telling me that I am using chemical warfare?
Yes, you are. And in fact, this is the reason why when you get a mosquito bite,
Oh.
you start itching. The mast cells just release tons of chemical bombs to try to kill the enemy, the pathogen, right? And this is why it's itchy. And we talked a little bit about cytokines, right? They're the ones that are your proteins that convey information. So they're basically going, danger. There's something going on. Everyone needs to come help quickly. Here's the site, right? They also are the ones that start heating you up when you have a virus, right? And they can go through the blood-brain barrier to help you heat up. All right, so here's a rendition of the battlefield. We have our neutrophil there. We've got our helper T cells on the way, and our gigantic macrophage. All right, so you finished your, I guess, hike or haunted mansion you were going to. All right, and you put a Band-Aid on it, and then it becomes swollen and throbbing. And then what comes out of the wound, guys?
Oh my God.
Who knows?
You
So
don't know.
when you have
Pus.
your wound closed and then it starts doing what?
There's pus
Hurts,
coming out.
throbbing.
Yeah, it's throbbing. There's like yellowy, pussy stuff coming out. And so what's the yellow pus stuff?
Dead bodies of
Dead
Dead
neutrophils.
cells.
Yeah, it's all those dead all the battlefield dead bodies, right? That have,
But Miss Sarah, I did
Yeah.
have a question.
yeah.
So, like, you know how they talk about neutrophils? Are T cells also neutrophils?
No.
So it's just like neutrophils.
If the red just really doesn't go with those.
Those would be
pinkish
something
brown
different.
things.
Neutrophils, I think, are part of the innate immune system, and they're going to help
It's
signal.
convenience
Oh,
For him, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I think it's a pair of black, like black kind of parachute.
I think I hear Miss
Which
Jen.
might be good for. I mean, because
Haha. Her microphone's working. All right, so the pus you see is all the death that is coming out, right? So we have our innate immune system and our adaptive immune system.
not working
Millions of
again.
things have died, right? Millions of cells have died. We got the neutrophils. I think a bunch of people mentioned that, they basically can explode their DNA and cover the pathogens, right? And kill them. And then the helper T cells comes and helps the macrophage get back to work one more time. And then you guys all mentioned the special force team. The antibodies have arrived.
Mhm.
Yes. So now what has been a desperate and brutal battle for days now turns into a one-sided slaughter, right? The antibodies are here. Step by step, the bacteria are eradicated and exterminated without mercy. And I think everybody had a happy ending to their story, right?
Yeah. Well,
So
no,
except for
there's
these
just left on a
bacteria.
cliffhanger.
Yeah. So
Actually, we did leave you on a cliffhanger. I mean, like, there could have been too many bacteria. They could have infected too much for the antibodies to get them.
That's called the cliffhanger, Levi.
They could have entered your heart and stopped it.
So everybody did a great job today, and you covered most of the bases of our immune system. So when we get back to our virus story again, we're going to understand what is going on when we contract a virus and how to kill it, right?
Oh, you're not gonna do a Kahoot?
No Kahoot today. We're already at 2:00.
Well, 11:37 a.m. here.
Oh, that's true.
I need to go eat lunch before I go to
Bye, Willow.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm sure everyone's
that's
going
what
to
we
see you
have
today.
too.
Thank you for class. Good job, guys, teaching us all about the immune system. You all get
nice
A.
working with you, Emma. Forgot how
Yeah,
good
you too.
how well you drew.
We never got to talk about the other cells, though.
Yes.
Like, there's still a ton of different things. in the
Oh
immune
yeah, this is really just the very, very basics of the immune system.
everyone.
Bye.
system.